Welcome to Vegas Live with Ninon. Of course, I'm Ninon, your host, and we are down here at the Pepper Mill, which is absolutely fabulous. You know, this is one of the legendary places still in Las Vegas. Isn't that amazing?
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
This is Slammy. Actually, it's Jack Slammy, but he likes to be called Slammy. Where on earth did you get Slammy from?
Oh, well, it kind of grew up with me. 15, 20 years ago, I used to work for WWE, and I was a ring announcer.
Oh.
And I've worked with professional wrestling throughout the last 25 years, so
Really?
it kind of stuck with me.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm just trying to think that would mean you have to be very fast with the calls in the boxing ring and what's going on there. Do you have to be fast with what's going on?
I was the ring, and I would introduce them to the ring.
Oh, you introduced to the ring and everything else.
Yeah, not a commentator.
Oh, great.
But
Slammy is he's very, very famous in Las Vegas, and actually famous, I would probably say the world, because we're dealing with internet. You're on the internet, so when we say someone's very famous in Vegas, which he is, but also he's famous all over the world, because we have all this social media going on.
Yeah.
How do you like the social media stuff?
I love it. I mean, it gets it out there. It's a lot better than, going to Kinko's and printing up flyers, that's for sure.
I never did do that. I never got that far.
Oh, cut and paste was a pain in the butt.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. I can remember those words, cut and paste and cut and paste.
Yeah.
What are they cutting? What are they pasting? And that's what it was.
Yeah, so now you don't have to pay for it.
But does that not make more sort of competition? Because everybody else can do it now.
Yeah, I mean, it boils down to the creativity of everybody and what they can produce and show off on, and at least it's more of a level playing field as far as everybody has the utensils.
They all have the utensils, and they all have the same opportunity.
It's what they can take. So
it's a measure of what you can put out there and how different you can make it, and that's what makes everybody is how different do we become. So you are very different. You are in many different media things that you do. What's your favorite?
Well, I mean,
disc jockey, right?
Yeah, I've been a DJ for about 25 years on and off.
You're an original.
Kind of. Yeah, I used to play on vinyl before there was cassettes,
And now vinyl's coming back.
And now vinyl's coming back, and I couldn't do it to save my life.
Oh, that's funny.
The only thing I've scratched in 15 years was my nose.
That's what he meant. That's funny. That is funny.
But, I mean, I try and get it all in here in Vegas. Mostly I've worked with the comedy, and I've put on shows. Been going for about 7 years now, and I've built it up to about 150 shows a year in various places.
So you've now become a comedian. Were you a bit of a comedian when you started out with disc jockeying, and you sort of, because you can talk to the people, can't you? Or was it at a time when you...
Yeah, I mean, there's portions of it where you have to think on your feet, and you have to be funny, and you have to come back with
mix it up a little bit, and
yeah.
sort of, to encourage people to come and watch you, to come and see you. So that's what you mean by making something different, as well as in the social media, you have to also do it like an everyday life thing.
Yeah.
As a comedian. And
then with my shows, like, sometimes people get in the habit of booking a specific type of show. Maybe it's a all one type of comedy and stuff like that, and I really can't stand that. I mean, if we're going to go for a comedy show, we're going to sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
You're going to keep it going.
I want to keep a variety of things going on and offer different points of view and different angles, and different comics have that way.
I was just watching a comedian on television, very, very well known, and I can't think of his name, but he's very well known. He had a stadium full of people. I mean, there must have been 8,000 or 10,000 people in the stadium. He went on and on. I mean, this guy, but the comedy he was bringing out was very normal, and it's about the women and about the men and the genders and all this different stuff and everything else, but he kept them going. And I noticed what he did, and I haven't seen you yet. I noticed what he did. He came in and laughed a little bit, and he came in and joined them in a little bit of the whole thing. Is that kind of a way of getting people evolve when you're evolved?
Well, it seems to be easier if everybody, kind of gets into it, and we're all feeling the same vibe. Then it's easier to just let it hang out and go, oh, that's hilarious, rather than rethinking the jokes or rethinking where it's coming from, or if political jokes are funny if they're funny. All jokes are funny if they're funny. Yeah, if they laugh, then they're funny. But if they're not, then it's not. And
you
especially
can feel
nowadays,
that. You can feel that as you're going through. Now, when you feel that, and you've just sort of sent out a little joke, and nothing really really happen. Do you, and you sort of think, okay, I've got to redo my audience. You do that on a split second.
Yeah, I mean I basically produce the shows, and organize them and stuff like that. So I get the right people out there, you know, and I learn from the audience, I learn from the venue, I learn from the tone of
them.
Yeah, just, you know, how's it feeling in here? What was the music playing before I walked in the door? You know, and I try and get the vibe. I try and learn what's going on in the room specifically for that event. You know,
I never thought about music before you come on would influence what you're going to do, but I guess it would.
Well, yeah, generally, because my specifics are bar shows, concert hall shows, not comedy club shows. Okay. So my stuff gets a little more, maybe a little more dirty, maybe a little more raw, but we're all 21 when you walked in the door. Yes. And so then we just try and figure out, you know, what's going to be the funny tone of the night. And
where do I go? Which is the genre. So you can change it in a split second.
Yes.
Because you know your practice so well. How long have you been in comedy? Probably all your life.
I've been a huge fan of comedy. I was a clown when I was a really young child. And,
a real clown or just a clown?
Yeah, a clown in the Shrine Circus.
Oh, really? He was a real clown. I love it. I love it.
I've always been some sort of an entertainer. Just trying to figure out the
kind of in your blood.
Yeah.
You love it. You can never get away from it.
No, I really can't.
You can't.
You know, I've even, and then I take it to all my facets of life. You know, everything that I'm doing. Like right now, you know, they just announced the Raiders are moving to Las Vegas.
I know. So you're a Raider fan?
Well,
you are now.
Yeah.
Whether he was or wasn't, he's a Raider fan.
I was born and raised in and around Oakland.
Yes,
so I
the Raiders.
I grew up there.
I happen to like the Raiders, though. I was just saying to one of my directors, I happen to like the Dolphins, and I had a big story about the Dolphins, which we won't go into, but I like the Dolphins just for a certain reason. But also the Raiders are amazing.
Yeah.
So what difference are the Raiders going to make to this town with the entertainment business?
I don't think it's the difference they will make to Las Vegas so much as that it's something incredible.
More people here?
Yeah, I mean, you know how you have Britney Spears when she tours, she plays one night a week in Dallas, one night a week in New York, one night. One night.
One night.
Right. But when she plays in Vegas, she's playing 5 nights a week.
Yes.
And that's because people fly to Vegas to see it.
Yes.
And then it's it's probably the best residency ever.
Yes.
Is that the Raiders will be playing in Las Vegas, and you're going to have fans from all over.
Yeah. It's going to create a different atmosphere. I think it's going to bring sort of some sports into Vegas, because there's always entertainment, always in the music.
It'll be the biggest thing in sports in Vegas since the Rebels back in the day. You know,
the Rebels. Who are the Rebels? We know who the Rebels are. But so, what are you doing now? What are you what is your main thing right now? And where are you appearing?
The main things right now is keeping the comedy shows going. I do Laughter Hours Las Vegas. You can find that on Facebook, internet, Instagram, what have you. Laughter Hours Las Vegas and/or Slammy shows. They'll give you all the listings. I have a couple of shows a week, and one of the main things I do is I bring in outside talent. There's only about 10 clubs in Las Vegas as far as comedy clubs go. Okay. But at any given time, there could be 100 comedians in town just doing something.
Yeah, I've interviewed a lot of them, and a lot of them have work, a lot of them don't, a lot of them struggle, you know, it all depends where they're at. I'm not going to say how did you manage to get your foot in the door, because of what you do, because you're a professional. What makes you a professional? What makes a comedian a professional to really make sure he gets, like you said, you've got 2 gigs a week that you do every time, I mean, and then you've got days open, which are probably filled as well. How do you manage that? With so much competition, you just have 100 of them out there.
Well, yeah. I mean, the competition in Vegas has been growing, and really, what I do, I still have been able to maintain something different, and that is, I have comics from really all over the world showing up.
So you're giving them an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, there's only 10 clubs, but I may have the best comic in India.
Yeah.
But he couldn't get booked on the Strip, so I get him.
So you get him.
Yeah, and so then I get I get an audience that represents that. Some people that seen him on, as we were saying, social media, and then they come and they're new fans of the show. And then you'll bring him back again another time, because you know. So you can actually pick and choose any comedian you want out there. If they're not on the Strip, you know, I mean, I had Stuttering John. I've had the original Unknown Comic.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's had that. I got that. Murray Langston, I had him under the
see?
bag, and he does great shows. You know, I've had a lot of big names. Roy Wood Jr., who's on the Daily Show now. I've had him. I've had Steve Byrne.
You had a lot of the real high-end ones.
Yeah, and sometimes they just drop by. Well, the main thing about Slammy shows is that they're always going. There's always a show every week. So
if
somebody,
a comedian just drops in.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Even whether he's well known or not well known, would you?
Well, I mean,
you prefer a name.
It's either well known or insanely funny.
Okay, but you have to do that.
Oh yeah.
To keep your show up.
If I have an excellent comic that walks in the door, I feel like I'm insulting them by not asking them to come up on stage.
Yeah.
And they'll say no.
Yeah.
Almost most of the time, they'll say no. I'm just here chilling,
Just
you know.
to say,
And I'm like, well, thank you for coming out and supporting. You know, it's really nice.
But
some of them jump up.
Yeah, there's a comedian to come and see another comedian, unless he's stealing his show. I didn't say that. Did I say that? I don't think I said that. Nobody steals anything, do they?
No, not comics. They never steal anything.
Of course, you know this is. So what have you got? Where can people find you now? Where can they see you?
Well, right now, every Wednesday night, we're at the Valley Saloon on Charleston. We have an upcoming show with the Comedy Sesh, which is a new cannabis-oriented show because of the lovely new laws here in town.
Yeah, we're hanging a lot of cannabis things that are coming around, so don't worry about it. Everybody's sort of, getting into this cannabis thing that's been since the 1800s, even way before that was out. So it's no big. This is nothing new with the cannabis, believe me. But everybody's like, oh, cannabis.
Now we take the dressing room and we put it out in the crowd because the dressing room was always smoking.
Hot.
Did you say hot?
You got me on the show.
And then the Raider thing's coming up. I'm at the Dive Bar. Every Sunday we do Black Sundays. We film a little TV show there.
Awesome.
We get some players in and we do some raffles and this, that, and that. It's every Sunday at the Dive Bar on Maryland and Flamingo. And then coming up with that on July 28th, Friday night, we have the season kickoff party for the Raiders. And we've got some great bands coming in. We've got some celebrity players coming in. Right now we've already confirmed we're working on Cliff Branch. We're hoping for that, but we've already got Reggie Kinlaw locked down. We got some great players coming out for the Raider kickoff party. Dive Bar, Friday night, July 28th.
Oh, how wonderful. Absolutely amazing. Anybody you want to mention out there to thank of your career and who you would like to just give them a little shout out?
Oh, I'd like to thank everybody that comes out to any show that I do. I really appreciate it, and it makes it worth it to continue trying to put on good promotions, and the ones that do notice the difference between my comedy shows and maybe, an open mic or something like that. I really appreciate when you can see the talent and you come up and say it. I mean, you just say, hey, just great show. I love it.
That's all we need. Yeah, great show. It's really interesting. Do you know Paul Scully?
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. Well, because he's English, But I haven't seen him around town doing comedy. I think I don't know.
Last I saw, he was piloting a TV show at Palms.
Oh, the Palms. Yeah.
But I haven't followed up on it.
But so there's a lot of room out there for everybody. But Sammy is he's really out there, and he works hard at it. And if you work hard at it, and you actually sort of get people and you do it, and put it together. Also, being a disc jockey, I think you understand people a little, a lot. So I think that's it. So Slammy, amazing. Thank you for coming on Vegas Live with me. It's absolutely amazing. We shall be right back with our next guest.